greetings and salutations, everybody. Some of you twice. We're back for another Elden Ring stream. Except not this time, because we finished Elden Ring. Isn't that right? I did good.
I'm really curious if the sound's coming through the same for me as it is for chat, because you like peak cut out twice there.
Did I really? Oh.
Yeah. That's why I started laughing halfway through.
I'll do my best to keep a consistent tone without screaming. I mean, it's not going to be a horror game, although by the end of this, maybe you'll feel differently. Maybe you'll feel differently.
We'll see.
Today, we're doing something a little bit different, just because, you know, we finished Elden Ring. We could have started a different game, but Elden Ring's coming back pretty soon. So we decided to do a little bit of quizzes. Both of us had an idea. And I happen to finish mine first. So we are doing my terrible idea first, which is Weird American History and quiz by Brain Cell number 2. What are you expecting from this as a non-American person? Do you think you'll be able to get any of these weird, crazy answers?
I mean, I enjoy just having, like, playing a game and having a bunch of random videos up. So my hope is that I'll know 3 of these at the very least.
Very fair. I think you might even get a few more of them, just because some of the answers, I feel like I would consider you an intellectual, as in you have an intellect.
Okay.
Sorry, that came out wrong.
Fair,
let me rephrase that. You are a fairly smart person. I think even if without any knowledge of American history, you'll be able to problem solve your way through some of these answers about what might actually be right, what actually might be wrong.
Fair. That's fair. I feel like we're gonna get moments, at least once or twice, where you'll have made the question being like, oh, this is super obscure and minor, and I'll be like, oh yeah, I watched X thing.
I'd be surprised if you've heard of any of these before. Well, there's one in here which you may have heard of, but maybe just one. But without further ado, are you ready, sir?
As soon as I take a look at what did Wild send? Quizzes?
Quizzes, yes. I think I don't know if it's a game or a website that has a bunch of like quiz. There's a lot of like pre-made quizzes and stuff all over the place. I'm assuming it falls into one of those.
That's fair.
I'm not 100% sure. I probably heard of it. I don't remember it at the very least.
I think I am good to go. Let's see how good or bad I do. What's the worst that could happen?
Combustion. Anyways, first
I guess.
question. Number 1. When the Declaration of Independence was first signed in 1776, who was the first country to recognize America as an independent nation? Is it A, the United Kingdom? You know, the ones we fought independence from in the first place. Was it B, Russia, you know, our sworn enemy? Was it C, Morocco? Or was it D, Antarctica? What are your initial thoughts? Walk me through your thought process.
Okay, do you want to know what my initial thought process was?
Shoot.
When you asked the question, well, I promised nothing. But when you first asked the question, I went, oh, yeah, that's right. I was watching a thing where they explained the first country, and I was like, yeah, it was. I would have thought it was France because they were allies with the U.S. But I remember in the video I was watching, it was like a part of the Spanish Peninsula that I didn't know was part of the Spanish Peninsula, and there's only one name I see there that fits the bill.
And your answer, sir. Is it Antarctica?
So my answer is C, Morocco. Final answer.
You are correct! The answer is, in fact, Morocco! Some would call Morocco the real G. Maybe they wanted to be our friend. Maybe they just knew we were going to be a super house of a country. Who can say?
Maybe they just wanted money.
And to answer your question, Dead Goggles, the reason why U.S. history is because I wrote another quiz. And then I found out after I finished that quiz, our good friend Noma here did not like that kind of quiz. So I was like, okay, what else can I talk about while still being ridiculous? So I figured U.S. history kind of falls under that since I failed that class. Anyways, you're right.
For reference as well, the type of quiz he's talking about are the ones like this is an old thing, but like the impossible quiz, where it's like the answers are designed to just mess with you.
Exactly. I could be a little bit of a sadist at times. I don't always have to be the one taking the beating. Maybe I want to put the shoe on the other hand. Well, how about that?
I think it's hilarious you called it a sadist.
Is it not?
Sadist. But sadist does sound a little bit more like what you
well, I'm definitely the saddest now. Oh goodness, but that is correct.
1 out of 3.
That is correct. Morocco was the first country to I guess accept the United States as its own independent nation. Isn't that interesting? On to question number 2. In 2001, a West Virginia politician was running an illegal lab. It wasn't until years later when he confessed to the illegal crime. He wasn't even caught, he confessed to it. What was the lab for? Was it for A, marijuana? Was it for B, cloning? Was it for C, Bitcoin? Or was it D, cybernetic enhancements?
Okay, this one I don't know the answer to, so we're off to a good start.
Great. If it's something new and exciting, well, exciting might be a stretch. If it's something new, then I did my job well enough.
I'm immediately eliminating C, because I don't think Bitcoin existed at that time. I'm like 99% sure.
You went through my fake question.
An illegal lab. I mean, A is the most obvious answer, but I feel like it's too obvious. B and D both seem like so horrendously far-fetched that I feel like it's the same as A. So this one's tougher.
Definitely quite a few things. You would expect. You have to remember, it is 2001.
Yeah.
Where cybernetics a thing back in 2001.
And that's but I could see it being a thing where like their version of cybernetics is like, oh yeah, I run this lab where we try to like hot glue gun computer chips to people's heads and then get, but yeah.
Sir,
no,
that was only 6 months ago. That wasn't.
I'm gonna go with the obvious answer. I feel like it's a trap, but I'm gonna go with A, weed.
Answer A. That is in fact incorrect. Would you like to make another second? Would you like to make another second? Another second guess? Would you like to make your first second guess?
Would I like to make a second guess?
Listen, if I add more words to the way I speak, maybe this will last longer.
Okay, Trump. I mean, at that, like, yeah, if I have to guess, or not if I have to guess a second time, but if I'm guessing a second time, cloning seems more legit or, like, realistic than cybernetics. So sure, let's try B.
In a former high school building, toddlers played in the daycare downstairs, senior citizens lunched in the cafeteria, and the entire Nitro Police Department worked out of the same building. Meanwhile, in room 201, Mark Hunt, a Charleston lawyer who had been elected 3 times to the state house, paid 2 scientists to create a clone of his son.
Oh my god.
It was only discovered after he had given up and revealed it himself. It seemed he wanted to replace his son. Maybe they had a bad falling out.
God, I'm glad the reasoning was as ludicrous as I hoped. he was trying to clone sheep. Oh, he saw a thing where we could like make a lot of money cloning cows. No, my son is a failure. I need son too.
I could correct that. I don't want to correct it because I correct it, it makes it sadder. But yes, you are
no.
right. If you want what actually the true history about this, his son was born. Yes, unfortunately, his son passed away when he was 6 months old, due to complications after birth. And I think I want to say it was for 3 or 4 years that he was paying these scientists to attempt to clone his son.
Damn. Okay.
Tragic story, but still a very odd turn of events nonetheless.
Yeah.
And as you can tell, he was not successful. But he did say publicly that once technology is there, he will try again.
Yeah, that makes sense. And we're only indefinite amount of years away from that still.
That is in fact true. Hey, we've started kind of cloning woolly mammoth, right? Or was it just their steaks? I think it was just their steaks.
I don't remember. I don't even think it was that. I think it was stupider than that.
Was it?
I think that story was they found a frozen woolly mammoth and they cut off a piece of it to try and eat. And they said it tasted terrible.
Oh, I thought they cut off some of its DNA, cloned it into like a ball of meat, ate it, and they were like, yeah, this sucks.
That does vaguely sound familiar, so like that might also be true, but I like in terms of the terrible taste one, I'm pretty sure it was they tried to unfreeze ancient woolly mammoth and they're like, it tastes bad, and it's like, yeah, no shit.
Go figure. Are you ready for the next question? Oh, okay, we're going to the next one then.
Oh, good shit, jeez.
In 1827, John Quincy Adams.
Believe that matters.
John Quincy Adams is the 6th president of the United States. Wants to send out an expedition to uncharted lands. Where do you think the proposed location was? Was it A, Alabama? Was it B, the Amazon? Was it C, the moon? Or was it closer to our hearts, D, the center of the earth?
Before we start off, I suddenly want lobster.
Lobster? Ooh, lobster, that sounds good.
Well, because the what's it called? As soon as I saw his name, I've been to the oh my god, what's it called? A Quincy Market in Boston.
Oh, it is called that, isn't it?
I think so. Yeah, it's a nice little place. But they were selling like a lobster gumbo thing there, and it was really good.
Is it too late to change one of my answers to Lobstertopia?
Alabama would be hilarious. Amazon. I feel like the moon is a little bit too ridiculous because he would have like tried to keep it within the realm of like places that he would have thought they could have gone.
Mm-hmm. And this is 1827. It's still pretty early on before the industrialization age, as far as I'm aware, at least.
However, yeah. Based off of your logic for the last one.
Oh no, he's using logic. My plans are being foiled very fast.
I'm just trying to think of if people would have thought that was feasible, and as far as I know, there's no one around the 1800s who had figured out about mantle, which is the first layer of the mantle is the first layer of rock around the Earth, but then after you get past the mantle, you get to the molten core.
That does sound familiar.
Or lava. So I'm gonna say D, center of the Earth. Final answer. I think your 6th president wanted to figure out that hollow Earth so that he could see King Kong X Godzilla, the New Order, sooner than anybody else.
And that is your final answer, you said. Is that correct?
I think so.
All right. That is, in fact, correct! John Quincy Adams, rumor has it, wanted to go to the center of the Earth. You want to take a bonus guess as to why? This one I do not have a slide prepared for.
Oh, okay, that's fair. He was either convinced that it was full of like amazing resources that no one else in the world had tapped, or he was convinced he could spread manifest destiny to there.
50-50. I'll give you a 50-50.
Okay,
I'll give you both at the same time. It is, in fact, the center of the earth. Rumor has it that he wanted to form trade relations with the mole men down by the center of the earth. It is worth noting, however, that this history fact was never actually officially recorded by historians and may be an absolute load of rubbish. But it's been spread around as kind of an infamous rumor. The mole people, you know, the Sirs and the Moldems.
I love how even, like, if this was true, I love how even back then people believed there were mole people in the center of the earth.
Oh, I wouldn't get that carried away. I don't think the rumor actually came about until, like, the late 1900s or early 2000s when it came out in, like, a TV show or something where it's like, ooh, weird U.S. history facts, and they just do some random stuff. It's hard to say, but no one's disproven it, but no one's also proven it, so, who knows? Who really knows? They could be still down there to this day, hoarding all their precious gems and all my stellar quartz.
No, I've seen Kong X Godzilla New World Order. There's just a bunch of other Kongs down there. And also a Mothra ball that has psychic humans inside of it.
Oh, how cute.
Watch King Kong X Godzilla New Order. It's not good.
It wasn't good? When did that movie come out? It must have been a while ago, wasn't it?
Like 2 months ago.
It was that recent?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. You're gonna perform necromancy? Please refrain. He'll be very upset to see the state of the United States now. He might have a stroke.
Yeah, you know, very fair.
Moving on. Question.
Look, Mr. President, we made a very nice mark in Boston about you.
His first one will be the Mallman. What are those? Next question. Number 4. Number 4. In the 1800s, a man by the name of James Addison Reeves almost got a hold of the entire state of Arizona. He almost came to own all of it. How do you think they achieved this? Is it A, through a business monopoly of owning every large enterprise within the state? Was it B, a series of fake receipts? C, bribery to the high officials who did, in fact, control Arizona? Or D, aliens?
If it's D, I'm gonna lose my mind. Is it bad if I had said that the most fitting one would be C?
It would be this most fitting, but unfortunately, that is incorrect.
I didn't make a choice yet.
Well, then ignore your I said nothing. We're restarting. All right. Is it A, business monopoly, B, fake receipts, C, bribery, or D, aliens? Go. What is you?
I just said C would be the most in line.
You didn't hear anything.
Oh, okay. Wild, like. See, here's the thing. I'm a pessimist at heart. Like a major pessimist at heart. Well, maybe not major. I'm a pessimist at heart. So, like, while a business monopoly... Also, Nitsuchi, no. It is not the hidden answer. That would be up there with aliens.
I didn't specify what kind of aliens. Maybe they were... Maybe they were, like... What is it? Foreign aliens? Is that what it's called for, like, immigrants? Is that the proper term? I don't remember anymore.
He's put forward his own answer, which is dick sucking. But I don't believe that's correct. But who knows? Maybe it was the aliens who did that.
Maybe that would have been better than the alien answer, I'm gonna be honest.
But going back to what I was saying, as a pessimist, I feel like fake receipts feels like it leads into like fraud. Or like that kind of like bribery is still kind of the same thing. I am so curious if that's true, Nitsuji, but I've never looked into Scientology that much. But yeah, I'm gonna go with B, fake receipts. And that says San Francisco. Okay.
That is, in fact, correct! The answer is San Francisco! Sorry, no, that's not correct. The answer is B! Fake receipts. Mr. Rivas, the so-called Baron of Arizona, is best known for his association with the Peralta Land Grant, a pair of fraudulent land claims. Under the terms of the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo and the Gadsden Purchase, the United States was required to recognize the honor of existing land grants made by either the Spanish or Mexican governments. Rivas used this provision by manufacturing a fictional claim and then generating a collection of documents demonstrating how the claim came into his possession. Documents were then covertly inserted into various record archives. In his initial claim, Rivas claimed title to the grant via a series of conveyances. When serious challenges to the claim developed, Rivas developed a second claim by marrying the purported last surviving lineal descendant of the original claim recipient. Do you want to guess? Well, I guess there's no point in guessing. I already have the little thing up on screen. But he was the only reason he got caught and his plans foiled and how he lost the entire state of Arizona was a general surveyor came and gave him an unfavorable report. He then went to the Suez government and sued the surveyor for $11 million in damages, which to present day would be roughly $403 million. And through that,
during the investigation.
Exactly. During that investigation, during the lawsuit, the U.S. government realized, hey, all these claims are bogus. And thus his reign ended.
It's good to know that there is a long history of hubris.
Oh, don't you love to see it? It's the American way, if they do say so.
I think it's just it's a universal way, but fair.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, the meddling kids.
If only he didn't sue the meddling kids, he may have gotten away with it.
Right.
Oh, the next question, number 5. During the Cold War era, and for those who do not know, I'm sure you know this, Noma, but Cold War era was a series of, I want to say, technological and propaganda attacks between the United States and Russia specifically. But during the Cold War era, West Virginia residents requested aid from the USSR or current-day Russia. What do you believe they requested from Russia? Did they request A, a bridge, B, ammunition, C, winter clothing, or D, financial assistance?
So it's not my final answer yet.
Okay.
But for some reason, in my head, like neurological activation happened on the bridge.
On the bridge. Why do you think that happened?
I don't know. I feel like it was, again, like something I was watching at some point that was like weird US facts or like the strangest whatevers, and it was just like, yeah, if you build us a bridge, we'll definitely, totally turn traitor on the rest of America. We're definitely not milking you for money. Because I do know that there was a lot of attempts to turn singular U.S. states over.
And I have just been informed by chat that I am a dumbass. The Cold War also featured a bunch of espionage attacks.
Yes, lots of them. You know, and if that comes up at any point, I'll answer that one. I'm gonna go with. See, my other thoughts are: it's West Virginia that have their own winter clothing and ammo, and D kind of dovetails in with A. So I'm gonna go with a bridge. Final answer.
Bridge. Final answer. Okay. I'm sorry, sir, but that is correct! That is, in fact, correct. In 1974, a bridge went down in West Virginia, and after 3 years, the state had refused to repair and bring this bridge back up to standard. In a desperate attempt they reached out to the USSR for help rebuilding their bridge. And surprisingly enough, they actually sent an entire team of engineers as a form of humanitarian aid to help bringing back the bridge.
Oh, that makes sense as well, because they can be like, look how shitty the US is. They can't even repair their own bridge. We had to do it for them.
Now, the story gets even better because an hour after the engineers from the USSR arrived on site, the state tried to send them away, saying, we'll fix the bridge, just send the Russians away.
Yeah, because they realized what it would look like if they let them repair the bridge.
Amazing.
Isn't that also just like another, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, shining example of the US is, no, we're not going to help. Oh, someone is going to help and make us look bad? Never mind. We've always wanted to help.
It's not they don't have the resource. It's just they have better things to do with the resources, like lining their own pockets. You know how it is.
How am I supposed to gold plate my boat if we keep fixing all these bridges?
Oh goodness, I couldn't even imagine. I'm sorry. You wanted to go to El Sawyer's Hootenanny down the road. You're gonna have to wait until we're finished buying this yacht. I'm sorry. You are correct. It is, in fact, a bridge. Although, unfortunately, I do not have the follow-up on if they actually did build that bridge or not.
I feel like in the video I watched they did. But don't quote me on that.
Sounds good to me. So far, we are about halfway through the quiz. How are you feeling? You've done surprisingly well, which makes me disappointed in myself. How are you feeling?
I mean, I'd say blame it less on yourself and blame it more on me watching just hours and hours and hours of useless videos.
Yeah, you history now. What the hell's wrong with you? Come on, get a life.
Oh, history? No, there was a section for like, I think an entire month in college where the entire time I was doing animations, I had my animations on the bottom screen as I was drawing them, and on the top screen, because our computer lab had like Wacoms and screens, and the top was just like an unending playlist of Drugs Inc. And I learned a shit ton from that, and then then yes, you're right, it dovetailed immediately into like gangster history and a bunch of other things. But no, there's so many like nature and like space and there's so many useless facts I have bouncing around in my head, so it's you trying to suss out which of those I don't know, basically.
Oh, well, lucky for you, I somehow was able to order them by level of, I don't remember if I did by level of difficulty or by level of ridiculous, but I'm assuming it's a combination of the two, so hopefully it'll actually get harder as we go on, because I think right now you're about 3 for 5, 4 for 5, something along those lines.
Something like that. I get the amount of something.
You've done surprisingly well.
Also, Matt, I've never been to West Virginia, but that doesn't surprise me. I've never really heard anything about the Virginias. I've been to a decent amount of places in America at this point, haven't I?
I think you have.
New York, Chicago, Philadelphia, Boston, Hawaii.
You may as well have been more places than I have.
Actually, that's it.
Oh, no, maybe not.
No, that's fair, Matt. I would expect Americans to understand America better than me. I know some stuff. I know stuff about Canada, but
all I know about Canada is their grand maple syrup heist, and then also how they won a war with two
that
people.
Was also the thing that always surprised me about the grand maple syrup heist is just the fact that it was so recent.
It was fairly recent. It was within the 2000s. It was like what, 10 years ago? And it was over the course of like 3 years, I think it was.
Yeah,
they stole millions of dollars worth of maple syrup from the Canadian maple syrup reserves. Yeah, reservoir.
Yeah. Which sounds like a joke, but
it was an actual thing.
And you know, this is Mountain Mama, take me home, country roads. But that's legitimately all I know about Virginia.
West Virginia, country mama.
Oh, there you go, dead goggles. No, that's fair. I mean, you know, we've got places like that up in Canada as well, where I'm curious if it's the same in Virginia, but Virginia has the Appalachian Mountains, so maybe not, right? But one of my favorite things is if you go to like the middle of Canada, so like Saskatchewan, Alberta, Manitoba, like it's so flat, you can literally be like looking down the road and see a storm coming for like 5 hours. Are we the reason the Geneva Convention exists? I actually don't know if that's true, Matt.
I didn't even know Canada had any flat land whatsoever. That's news to me.
we've got 3 provinces that are all like ludicrously flat.
Huh.
I'm shocked and not shocked by that, Mattis. Because I do know from watching a lot of history documentaries that, yeah, exactly, and that's what I was gonna say. That like we were known for being unhinged lunatics in World War One.
You've come a long way to the respectable maple syrup moose riding people you are today.
No, we just took all of that and we just funneled it into hockey, and then that's basically where it stayed.
It is the national sport, after all.
And then the funniest thing too is that I know that like the majority of the things that like people are like, oh yeah, like the Canadians did some crazy shit is like Newfoundland, which is like the East Coast. Yeah, maybe that's right, Mattis. We just sent them all out to die in World War One, and then it calmed us down. I still maintain it was hockey though.
Oh my goodness. Are you ready for the next question, sir?
Yes.
Question number 6. In the early 1900s, the idea of a nationwide prohibition of alcohol was being made a very serious debate matter. In the 1920s, the United States effectively went dry. No alcohol whatsoever. How did the government choose to enforce this decision of a nationwide prohibition? Was it A, excessive arrests by local police? Was it B, coupons for law-abiding citizens who proved they did not have alcohol? Was it C, poisoning the alcohol supply at its source from the alcohol mountain ranges of the Northeast? Or was it D, they didn't? It was a figment of their imagination that something actually happened.
The first thought in my head was, oh, so you all have the alcohol reserves, or we have the maple syrup reserves. Okay, I don't think it was. See, like, in the early 1900s, the idea of it was being a matter of serious debate. I know that they rounded up a lot of people for prohibition, but I don't know if they were arrested. That's the thing. I'm swapping between. No, that's fair, Mattis, because if you do know it, then yeah. This is what's it called? Like I'm switching between A and D.
A and D.
Yeah, because A I feel like happened, but D feels really on point. Well, let's see. I will.
One would say they are both on point, given the United States government.
Yeah.
Current day, they definitely do a lot of arrests. Were they as known for these excessive arrests in the early 1900s?
I'm gonna do 2 things right now. I'm gonna say D, they did nothing.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna stop looking at your chats.
All right. Final answer D. The government did nothing. The states went dry. But they actually did not. That is the wrong answer, sir. I am terribly sorry.
Okay. That's fair. So yeah, Matt, you can put yours in now, and then I'll start looking at the chat when we finish this part.
You're phoning a friend through my chat, sir. How dare you?
No, I just said I'm not looking at your chat.
That's fine. Oh, you said D. You thought D as well, Mattis? Even the cops were hammered. That is not correct. I'm sorry to say, Mattis, you are also
okay.
Oh, I paused that too soon. You are also incorrect. The answer is not D. Would you like to make a second guess?
Okay, so.
Or should I eliminate an answer for you?
No, that's fine. I'm bouncing between A and B. I don't think they'd be stupid enough to poison their own constituents. But they might take an egg in this trying time. I don't know why I'm saying this. I know Roomba won't get the reference.
Well, egg in a trying time? What?
Yeah, it's
Is that like you egg their houses as a way of showing like solitude or something?
No, it's the unhinged lunacy of the show It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Oh yeah, I don't know what to think about Philadelphia.
You know what, Mattis? That's also true. It could depend on what state it was.
That's very true as well.
Okay, A or B. B also sounds kind of in line of just like how completely inane it would be. But because I feel like there's a bit of historical preference for it, I'm gonna go with A for my second answer.
Going with A?
Too many
All right.
arrests.
That is incorrect. Oh, incorrect twice.
Ah!
There probably were arrests, but that is not how they enforced it. The correct answer.
Okay, so it was coupons?
You really think the U.S. is that kind to its people?
Oh my god, it was I legitimately
The
wouldn't have believed it was
poison!
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
After an estimated 60 million gallons of alcohol were stolen annually, the Treasury Department ordered manufacturers to poison their own alcohol with additives, creating denatured alcohol to discourage consumption. It was never intended to be fatal. But when bootleg chemists found ways to recover the alcohol and re-nurture it, even deadlier poisons were added to the alcohol, such as methanol, making it even worse and eventually ending up in a number of deaths.
Jeez.
The intentional poisoning of the US government of industrial alcohols led to the paralysis and death of thousands of drinkers, specifically those who were trying to bootleg their beverages from non-official sources. And one particular concoction made from industrial alcohol, I believe it was dubbed Ginger Lake, was reportedly responsible for crippling up to, drumroll please. Oh, I should do it myself. 100,000 American drinkers. And all in all, it is estimated that approximately 10,000 people were killed by drinking poisoned alcoholic drinks during this time period.
Damn. And that wasn't even the last time they poisoned their people.
Isn't it terrible?
Damn it. I can't believe I didn't remember Agent Orange until now. I should have known it was poisoning.
When you run a country, you tend to have a lot of the same trains of thought. It's how you act on them that separates you from other places. Unfortunately, we shared a lot with Asian cultures at this one point in time.
That's fair. Also, you're...
Am I still clipping?
Fair. I was gonna say, I don't know if your chat can hear it, but on my end, your audio is kind of turning into a robot.
It's turning into a robot. Hey, give me a second.
Roomba's chat, how does he sound for all of you?
My stream did drop for a second, so it may have actually stopped. It looks like my stream's back up, at the very least. There, I turned off my AC. Maybe it'll make it a little bit crisp, a little bit better sounding. Time will tell.
Fair.
All right, on to question number 7. Behold! In 1784, 13 states were designated as the first states within America, and thus the creation of the United States. However, there was almost a 14th state. What was the name of this 14th state? Was it A, Confederal? Was it B, Frankland? Was it C, Greater Roomba? Or was it D, Georgelington? Don't laugh at me.
I mean, C's the fake answer. I can already tell C's the fake answer.
What's wrong with what's wrong with Greater Roomba?
C is wish fulfillment.
What's wrong with that? Just because I don't have maybe wanting a nation named after me and maybe, people to worship me, what does that mean? Why does that have to be a fake answer? What's wrong? There's nothing wrong with that. Also, shut up, it's not fake. Definitely not fake.
I've just got to say, I hate all these names. And thus the United States. Oh man, my brain's not where I don't know.
I'll give you, honestly, this one I would never expect you to get unless you expect it, because it just seems so across the board.
No. No, I know, but I wanna do this on hard mode, at least for the first one.
Yeah. Apparently, Mattis has heard this question before.
Like a shred of logic within this. Oh, fair. 13 states. Ooh, and now my own history is like starting to break up in my head a little bit because in my head I'm like, when was the Declaration of Independence signed?
We had a question about that.
Know.
We had that earlier. 1776 was the Declaration of Independence. So
okay,
this
so
was not even 10 years after.
So would they be stupid enough to name it after their first president? Would that even be considered stupid? Civics, but I can see it being an American civics. But Franklin is Benjamin Franklin, right? I'm gonna go with D first, and then we'll see in second answer. We'll see.
D first? George Langton. That is incorrect, my good sir.
Yes. Damn. Okay. Franklin or Confederal? Confederal sounds like a.
Oh, no. I didn't misspell anything. I didn't misspell anything, Mattis. I'll get to that. Don't worry.
I'm gonna go with Confederal because it sounds stupider out of the two.
That is unfortunately also incorrect. The correct answer...
Damn, was it Franklin, really?
The correct answer was B, Frankland. Unhappy with North Carolina's governance over the area, frontiersmen from the region sought to establish their land as a separate independent state called Frankland. In 1785, they petitioned Congress for statehood, and 7 out of the 13 existing U.S. provinces voted in favor. But because it was less than the 2/3 majority required by the Articles of Confederation, it did not pass. In an attempt to bolster their petition... Oh, go ahead.
No, keep going.
Okay. In an attempt to bolster their petition to get the last couple votes, Franklin leaders changed the name of their area to Franklin. Franklin, in an attempt to garner support from the founding father, Benjamin Franklin, who proceeded to call them all dumbasses. And then after a conflict with the North Carolina admission...
Yeah, because I was going to say, like, what confuses me there is...
Hello?
Oh, you got out there.
Oh, no, apparently I lost internet.
Nope.
My stream also died. I'm back. Stream's not back.
Rip. Rip.
It'll be back soon. Probably. I thought I fixed this issue. I didn't, obviously. At least I know it is my ISP. All right. My stream came back for half a second and then it dipped again. Come on.
Who knows it?
Stream is back.
90% of the time it seems to be something outside of your control. Oh. We back? We cooking again?
Yeah, I going to assume we are back. It's very low quality, but it's back. It'll go back up. But yes, they started as Franklin, and then they did rename to Franklin later on.
I see. And that's what was confusing to me. It was like, so you're gonna try and name yourself after someone who lives in the then capital, but you're doing it because you aren't happy with how that capital's governing is going. That's in my head. That's what eliminated it. But that's,
very fair. But that land was eventually, the government collapsed, I think about 5 years after the vote, and went back to North Carolina, who decided they don't want it after all, and then eventually became part of Tennessee.
Jeez, okay.
Would you want another fun fact about Franklin and Frankland? Are you familiar with the folk story, Davy Crockett?
Yes.
Folk hero Davy Crockett was actually born in the state of Franklin, and his father was a passionate Franklinite.
Oh.
Fun fact.
But did he also cut down trees in one swing like Paul Bunyan?
I couldn't tell you. I never read it.
Fair.
Help, you're trapped in Franklin. My condolences, sir. Listen, I'll get you out of here. I'll get you out. I have a plan. I have barrels. I just have to figure out how to roll them all the way over across the country. Just give me some time, sir. All right. On to question number 8. Between 1850s, somewhere between the 1850s, the city of Chicago had horrible issues with their sewage water being stagnant, resulting in numerous epidemics. What was their solution to their predicament? Was it A, to toss a bunch of mints into their sewer line? Was it B, to recruit an army of beavers to dam up the sewage system? Was it C, to raise the city on thousands of stilts? Or was it D, to dig a hole to the center of the earth and drain the sewage down there?
Okay. The only things I know about Chicago and its river, which I learned while I was there, is that at one point the river was so filthy it set on fire and burned for like, I think it was like a week.
That is in fact a correct thing. That happened.
So originally I thought that was going to be the answer.
No, but what this is unrelated, although it may have given rise to the reason they needed to fix it. I do not know when that fire started.
So, let's see. Hole to the center of the earth, considering, John Quincy Adams, does sound vaguely realistic. However, in my head, I'm knocking out Beaver Army, because I think as funny as that would be, I don't think that they would have thought that.
Maybe it was a bit too much of a Canadian answer for
this. Yeah, that's our stuff. So in my head, like mints, it sounds ridiculous, but it does definitely sound like something they would do to be like, yeah, that'll fix it.
Mm-hmm.
But for some reason in my head, I'm equivalating stilts with not the ones that you use for walking, but the ones that you use to build frameworks to lift things.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like there was something when I was in Chicago that I remember reading on some plaque somewhere about something being raised near the river. So based off of that fragmented memory, my first answer is going to be C, thousands of stilts.
That is correct! The answer is in fact C, thousands of stilts. This is a long one, so buckle in, everybody. At the time, the elevation of Chicago area was a little bit higher than the shoreline of Lake Michigan, the nearest lake. For 2 decades following the city's incorporation, drainage from the city surface was inadequate, resulting in 2 large bodies of standing, pathogenic water to form, all being, of course, sewage. In 1856, engineer Elise S. Chesborough drafted a plan for the installation of a citywide sewage system and submitted it to the Common Council, which did end up adopting the plan. Workers laid drains, covered and refinished roads and sidewalks with several feet of soil, and raised most buildings on screw jacks to the new grade, roughly 6 feet above the initial level. Unfortunately, most of the city's old wooden buildings were not considered to be raised, so they actually had to demolish those wooden or move them to the outskirts of the city. Do you want a fun fact about this entire endeavor?
Interesting. Also, I don't know if everyone was answerable with it. But Sure.
All right. A fun fact is that once the city was lifted by their 6 feet, all of their sewage started to reverse flow towards St. Louis.
Oh.
Rumor has it, the St. Louis appreciated this gesture so much that they then bottled up the sewage and sold it back to Chicago as beer.
The problem.
Indeed. But yes, while the beer may have been a rumor, St. Louis did in fact sue the city of Chicago in federal court once the river was reversed and all the sewage started flowing into the Mississippi River past them instead.
That makes sense.
The also unfortunate thing was that St. Louis lost their lawsuit about Chicago.
Oh my
because
God.
they were also dumping their sewage into the Mississippi River and couldn't prove that their own water quality was degraded after the fact.
Oh my God.
Isn't that fun? Isn't that exciting? Terrible
so
sewage
sense.
all around.
Yeah. I mean, again, that was the one fact that I retained from Chicago. The river was so filthy it caught fire for multiple days.
Yeah. It is not the greatest of infrastructure plans, but it's what they agreed on.
And now they've learned their lesson, and so dump gallons of green paint into said river for St. Patrick's Day instead.
Oh, gosh. I like to think they're using environmental dye now, but I honestly have no idea.
I don't know either.
I don't know. All right. Are you ready? Question number 9.
Yes.
Question 9. In the fall of 1922, a series of small-scale riots ended up converging into a much larger riot in New York City and caused many, many arrests and even a handful of deaths. What do you think the riot was about? Was it A, straw hats? Was it B, public transit? Was it C, stray bees? Or was it D, the next Hokage?
So, it's been a little while, I suppose.
Uh-huh.
But unfortunately, I already know the answer to this one.
Oh!
So if your chat wants to make a couple of guesses.
All right, chat. What do you say? What do you think the answer is? What was the cause of the riots in New York City?
Because specifically when you said it, I went, oh yeah.
Why is the last question the one you know? Was it not obscure enough? Was it something I said? What?
Oh, is this?
No, I didn't say that. I didn't say anything. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, it was nothing you said.
All right. My chat is dead. So what is your answer, good sir?
Unfortunately, none of them have had the correct answer. It's fair. I think it might be because your stream is dead. I can't tell. Having a thing where...
Oh, it is dead.
Yeah, I think there might be another problem with your stream. I'm not 100% sure.
All right, I'm definitely calling my ASB after this. So
we'll give it a second to see if it comes back.
But my video!
I will say...
My content!
Because yeah, like basically, I was watching a video a while back, and when I tell you what the name, I'll wait until after we've done the answer. But the name of the video like had this riot's full name, and then went into the things about it. So that's why I know it. But also, while we are waiting for Roomba stream to come back, which I think it might in a second.
No, I'm gonna be honest. I don't think my stream's coming back. Let alone the fact it's not even trying anymore. I can't even access Google.
Ooh.
So.
Ooh, okay.
It is completely
I can still
dead.
hear you and I can still see your chat, so.
Yeah, isn't that exciting?
So what I'll say then, before everything fully collapses into the sea, is, Mattis, if everybody here enjoyed this or would like to see a different version, what we were thinking next week, because we have to wait for Shadows of the Erd Trees, the Seamless Co-op DLC creator to either make a patch or a new version, we're assuming for that. So we might try next week is kind of a different version of this where I try to teach Roomba about 1K stuff, and we do like maybe an hour or two discussion on that, and then I quiz him at the end of that.
Oh, my stream's up, but it's not good. Okay.
And wants to see Roomba try and well, that's a, you know.
It is what it is.
That's at least an in-between. But yeah, if people are interested in watching Roomba try to absorb a whole bunch of Warhammer information for an hour or so, and then see how much he retained, then we might try that. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, it looks like your stuff is back up. So yeah, I am going to go with what I remember off the top of my head, which is the Straw Hat Riot of 1922, which started, of all things, because they put in a law that ruled that I think men weren't supposed to wear them after the fall, and then enough people were mocked about not following the law that it started a riot. You might have more info on that than me, but that's what I remember from the video I watched.
Yeah, that's correct. That is correct. The answer is A, is Straw Hats. So what basically went down was.
Oh no. So all I was gonna say was, the reason I saw all of this stuff was because I watched a video that was called "The 15 Craziest Things Straw Hats Have Done," and it was like a One Piece related video.
Of course it was. Oh my god. Oh, I was hoping, it's a One Piece reference. He'll never know it. And then it was like, oh, because of the raw foot straws, he actually knows it. Oh, I'm so traumatized. I hate this.
I apologize.
Yes. It was, in fact, Straw Hats, the Straw Hat Riots of 1922. There was a tradition of that following the change of the seasons. As summer ends and fall begins, it is tradition for straw hats to be put away and replaced with felt ones. However, due to a series of teenage men wearing their straw hats past the unofficial date that was deemed socially acceptable, they were arrested, which led to a lot of riots and including a couple of deaths. There was even a couple people that were murdered over the fact of their choice to wear a straw hat. It wasn't until the 1930s, roughly 8 years after the fact, when seasonal hats went away and the Panama hat became more fashionable all the time. Isn't that fun?
For a straw hat.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the greatest.
Like One Piece. Also, yeah, absolute One Piece reference.
It's not the greatest, that's for sure.
Isn't it crazy that New York dropped predictions for One Piece in 1922?
God. All right, my stream's again, so let's wrap this up. Last question. There is no more question. The end. We finished. Yay! Cheers.
A cursed stream for a cursed quiz.
Well, maybe I should have had the foresight to record it straight to my PC so I could re-upload it, but I didn't. So that's not gonna happen. If you liked this quiz, you can view it. Yeah. If you liked this quiz, if you want to see the full thing without terrible connection issues, I recommend you view the full video on Voice Force Gaming Twitch channel. They will have the VOD up there. I will probably download that from their end and put it up on my own channel if they're okay with me stealing their content, because I know they don't have a YouTube. You don't have a YouTube, right? Please say you don't have a YouTube.
We do have a YouTube, but we don't put VODs on it. Right
okay,
now, so.
Possibly then. It's a chance. We will see what we can do. But that will do it for this stream. Any closing thoughts?
No, this was fun, honestly. Despite the technical issues, which is super unfortunate.
Yeah.
It's. I'm happy with how many I got right. I'm a little bit surprised with some of them, like Center of the Earth. I wasn't expecting to get right at all. But yeah, no, overall, I think good job. I'm pretty happy with how this all turned out. It gives me some ideas for, like I said, if either of us are interested in me talking about Warhammer for an hour and then trying to make you remember some of it, then, maybe we'll try that next week. Or we can always try the Super Cursed quiz. And then, as long as I'm prepared for the fact that everything's going to be what I don't think it's going to be, then Who knows?
I need to figure out if that one got lost in the 13 crashes that happened or if that was irrelevant and I saved it beforehand. I'll have to figure out where that is.
That's fair.
Anyways, thank you all for coming. Have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening. And I guess until the next one. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.